Hello, I'm Lugatorix and welcome to part 4 of my Mercenary campaign on Rome Total War. So, we are in a relatively good position. There are a couple of things that maybe aren't going perfectly. I'm looking at the plague in Memphis and this guy walking over as an example, but he doesn't seem like too much of a threat. It's just one heavy cavalry general. But yeah, in the main, it's going pretty good. The Parthian army, which looked a bit menacing, has now stepped into Seleucid territory, which is nice. So it's sort of a matter of, well, where do we go for next? Now obviously we are advancing through Turkey against the Pontic Empire in particular. But also, you know, I would like to sort of expand into Seleucid territory over here. It's not vital. There are certainly better areas of the map. I'm not bothered about going to war with Armenia, to be honest, but yeah, the Seleucid capital would be quite nice to get. It's not hugely garrisoned, and of course you get the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, which is, they're alright, but I have a feeling this Parthian army might get there first. So, that's okay. I think first of all we need to check out the situation in Turkey. So, we have Nicomedia here. Now Nicomedia is basically ungarrisoned. There's a general and one unit, but there's a huge Pontic army over here, like full stack. It doesn't look particularly strong, but it's strong enough. So, to sort of escape them, I have built a fort and put these guys in the fort. This army couldn't take on that army. It's just not big enough. So, what am I going to do? Well, I think the plan was to get a diplomat over in that direction so that we could bribe this army and then just take Nicomedia for ourselves. That was the plan. But I don't seem to have a diplomat nearby unless I can't... Oh, no. Okay, so that's the situation. The diplomat is going to speak to those guys next turn. But that's a full stack army. I don't know if we'll have enough money quite to bribe them, but we'll see. We'll see what the situation is. So yeah, we'll have to... What's our projected money at the end of this turn, I wonder? It is 37,000. That should be enough, but not necessarily. Now, something I haven't done in a while is get rid of all the military barracks and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise a bit of money by getting rid of all the buildings we don't need. So I'll cut back to when I've done that. Okay, I've just done a little bit. I don't think I've got rid of all the buildings, but that'll be good enough for the moment. So, in all honesty, it doesn't seem like a lot more I can do this turn. We need to bribe this army next turn. As for the Pontic capital, there is a small garrison and then an army just outside. Now, I would like to fight these guys. What have we got in Mazacar? Quite a strong force. It is slightly depleted, looking at it. I'm going to merge some of these units together. Yeah, it is in some respects a little bit depleted, but... yeah, thinking about it, we might need to reinforce that a little bit more. In Ansara, we've not got a lot. Tarsus is unhappy, which isn't good. Let's lower the tax rate, and that should solve the problem. And also, let's get up a... wooden wall would be nice, but let's just get some... We need happiness, so let's just get a temple, as Tarsus is a little bit unhappy at the moment. Yeah, there's not a lot more we can do. Hatra is now ours. Yeah, this is a large army is in Hatra, I believe, because we had to garrison it massively because they were really unhappy. And talking about that, we should build something to make the happiness increase, but it doesn't seem like anything because there is a shrine to Hephaestus. Okay, we'll get some paved roads in, that's the basic. If we can't afford these next turn, we'll just get rid of them, it's fine. But yeah, other than that, we need to sort of form an army over here to take this Pontic settlement. But other than that, we're in a relatively good position. So I shall advance... Oh no, before I do that, let's just see what the situation is over here. Memphis, I moved a large army into, I think. No, okay, I moved a general in and he got the plague, yeah. That was a massive mistake I made, but these things happen. And then, yeah, we have some fleets that are transporting troops to Turkey. Yeah. So what's in this fleet? Just one general and one camel, but that'll be good enough. Well, it should do a decent job anyway. So you guys head over here, and then you head towards Mazacar. There aren't any mercenaries available, sadly. So yeah, I think that's all we can do. I'll advance turn and see what happens. Right. So what can we see? The Seleucids have attacked Hatra. Fair enough. And the Seleucids have also attacked Palmyra. Right, okay, fair enough. That's a lot more aggressive from the Seleucids as I thought. And there's also an army coming over. Right, Parthia want trade rights. That's fair enough, but I'd like a little bit more than just trade rights. Well, we'll accept that first of all, because that's fine. But I'd also like some map information as well. That would be quite nice as well. And they accept that, so now we can see the Parthian land. That's good. That's a fair deal. I don't want an alliance with the Parthians, but I think that's a fair deal to start off with. Okay, there's a Pontic army moving towards Mazacar. I can see that from a mile off. So quite a lot's happened. Just trying to work out what exactly. So 2 settlements have been besieged. We are aware of that. End of turn report is fine. Death stalks the land. Yeah, unfortunately I'm aware of that. Town expands. It's Palmyra. I'll try and remember that. Faction announcements. 2 new family members and somebody's died, but it's no one important. Construction and recruitment report. Okay, first of all, let's have a look at the Seleucids, because they seem to have attacked our settlements. First of all, we have a... Well, I say this, it's a big Seleucid army, but I can see several units of peasants, which is intriguing. But it's still big enough to be a concern. What do we have in Hatra again? I must remind myself. Lucky we put a large garrison in there. Okay, so there's a decent sized garrison, but some of our units are peasants as well, and Eastern mercenaries aren't that great. So what I'll do, first of all, is move this spy over in this direction so I can actually see a little bit of more of what's going on. Can't really see a lot more. Okay. That's a slightly odd situation. I don't particularly want to bribe them off, just because we're bribing off so many people that we're kind of running out of money to bribe the ones we really need. For example, I was going to say, for example, the Pontic army that's right here, but it doesn't seem to be here anymore. Ah, they're over there. This is interesting. So we can see the Pontic army is here, because that is where the diplomat is travelling to. We could just go for Nicomedia now. This is intriguing. We could just go for Nicomedia now, but this army is going to cause trouble for us later. And we wouldn't be able to get inside Nicomedia straight away, which would cause a bit of trouble. And we haven't got a spy or anything, so it does look like we're going to need to bribe those guys off, but I'll just hold that for a second, because I want to look at this. So this is 3 units garrison heading towards Mazacar. That's not a problem. There's various stuff going on. Okay, so you get into Mazacar. We have a decent force here now, which is good. Right, so yeah, there's a lot that's gone on, but it's nothing too bad. In terms of bribing, really, there's 2 armies we need to bribe. The Seleucids over here, and the Pontic army, which is over here somewhere. I think it's on this little bit of dust. Which is the priority? Well, I would probably argue the priority is the Seleucids who have just attacked Hatra, and I have just remembered the Seleucids also attacked Palmyra, and the Parthians are relatively close by as well. So we have Clysartos of Bostra. Yep, I remember him. He fought the Parthians a while ago, and they could just take Palmyra easily. They really could. In which case, we need our diplomat to do some diplomacy. First of all, we'll talk to this guy and see how much money he wants. Bribe. And that's going to be a lot of money. I don't think we'll be able to afford it. No. And he is not interested at all, which is concerning, to be honest. So, second of all, we'll talk to Clysartos of Bostra. See if he's more lenient, really. Yeah, I don't think he will be. Nope. I think maybe it's because I tried to speak to 2 different Seleucids in the same turn, possibly. I'm loath to bribe this army because I need enough money to bribe these 2 armies over here. So I will refrain from bribing the Pontic army for that very reason. But I mean, Palmyra just wouldn't be able to stand up to this force. It's not a great force. It's half full, but it's it's big enough, and there's no reinforcements really at all over here, because we have a real lack of armies, we have a real lack of garrison, because there just aren't that many mercenaries available in the whole area. I mean, there's basically nothing to help Palmyra, which is very, very bad. Very bad. I'm really hoping the Parthians will attack Clysartos. That would be nice, but I can't rely on that at all, which isn't good. As for this guy, well, he's got a full stack army. No, is it full stack? It's not quite full stack. But yeah, and we haven't got enough really. I mean, possibly, but very unlikely will we have enough to defeat them. But there's not a lot we can do.
Your obedient servant.
So I'm just thinking of, well, maybe at least we could build some good walls. Yeah, we've only got palisade then. Yeah, we've only got palisade. Okay, to get some walls, that'll take 2 turns. That'll just, it'll add another layer of defense. It's not great, but it'll have to do. Now, instead of just building loads of peasants, that just doesn't make sense really. We will retrain these guys. Hopefully they'll have some upgrades to morale or light armor or something. I can't be bothered to work it out, but it will have some benefit towards them, which will be nice. As for Palmyra, well, it's already got some walls. It's only got palisade, and we would need to have a governor's villa and then 2 more turns for a wall, which isn't great, but well, we might as well try it. We might as well try it. Okay. I am slightly worried about these 2 settlements. As I said, I'm not willing to either attack Nicomedia or bribe these people because I'm concerned about money, even though it seems like we have a lot of it. It isn't exactly, you know, we've got a lot of money to spend. We need to spend a lot of money. Now, I'm not concerned about Mazakar being attacked by this force, but I am concerned about finishing off the Pontic force over here. Once we do that, they'll only have Nicomedia and they're pretty much screwed. So we do need to get over there. What have they got? I'll just remind myself again. They have a captain who's got basically nothing, and inside the city they have a decent sized army and a decent quality army as well. Ah, okay. Fair enough. I mean, you know, I could try and bribe them, but they're not going to. It's their capital as well, which means they would be very, very unlikely to be bribed. In which case, we'll take these 4 generals. Thing is, the generals aren't going to be that useful in a city siege, really. And then what else we got? Not a lot. So I can't really launch an offensive over there, in all honesty. Now what I should do, really, is spread my generals around so I can get the most mercenaries possible. That would also make sense. But there's not a lot more we can do. Over here there's some more mercenaries, which is good. It's only Libyans, but it'll do the job. And what I was thinking about this. Instead of launching an offensive against the Numidians or whatever and expanding in this direction, I'm going to sort of try and fortify these 3 settlements as much as possible and recruit as many mercenaries as possible to hold out against Scipio once they eventually get here. It'll take a long, long, long time. It shouldn't be that much of an issue. There's honestly not a lot we can do because we haven't got a lot of generals spread around, so we can't recruit a lot, and we can't really launch an offensive because our armies are tied up. Well, we haven't really got any armies really. Our main force is this force, and it's overshadowed by this Pontic force over here. I'm just looking at Byzantium though. It's looking very, very vulnerable, which is interesting. If we were to go to war with the Thracians, now would be a good time. Well, this is the thing. As we're not interested in taking on Nicomedia, only reason is because as soon as we besiege Nicomedia, this army's going to come and wipe us out. The army which I know is over here. There's no point. But if this is a good opportunity to take Byzantium, I think we should take it. Problem is, we need to get a ship over there, which is going to take absolute ages, isn't it? That is really annoying. Okay, we'll get this ship. It's going to take absolute ages to get over to the Byzantium kind of area, and this ship could be dead by then. Like the force could be depleted by various pirates and stuff we meet on the way. But that's all we can do. That's all we can do. It's annoying. We just need to get them from there to there, but there's no land border as far as I can see, unless you walk all the way around, which will take way longer. So nothing we can do. But Byzantium being weak could be a nice advantage for us. We could take advantage of that opportunity. Other than that, not a lot we can do. What I'm going to do, I'm going to move one of these generals south because I want to take advantage of the different mercenary pools in the area. So yeah, he can hang around here and sort of try and find as many mercenaries as possible. But honestly, there's not a lot we can do. And this is the really frustrating thing, is until the mercenary pool regenerates, there isn't a lot we can do in any respect. As for Cadonia, we are starting to build up a little force. Rhodes has 3 garrison in it, Rhodes is a settlement I'd like to take, but we haven't got strong enough mercenaries to take them on yet. So we just can't. That's all we can do. I will end the turn. Oh, no, I won't quite end the turn yet because Jerusalem is unhappy, which isn't good. We'll give them public baths, I think. No, we'll give them a Temple of Horus and Councillor's Chambers, but we can take that back if we need the money in the future. As for Petra, we'll lower the tax rate and they'll be fine. Okay, I think every other settlement is fine. I say fine. There's not a huge amount of happiness, but it's good enough. Mazkar can have a tax increase though, I think. Yeah, they can have a tax increase. Okay, I will end the turn and we shall see what happens. But honestly, I don't think it's going to be a lot on our side. We're probably going to get dragged into a few fights though. Okay, so... Oh, flip. He was meant to do that. I forgot I planned him to talk to this army. But as we're here, would you want to be bribed? I don't know. Oh, they won't be bribed. There's no way. There's no way they'll be bribed. No, that's not happening. Oh, no, there's no point. They're not going to be bribed at all. They're not even going to listen to us. Various Pontic armies moving around the place, which is unsurprising. Other than that, not a huge amount going on. Now, there's rioting in Jerusalem, which isn't much of a surprise. 783 citizens killed. That's terrible. That's really not good. So things are starting to go a little bit wrong in some areas. Armenian Seleucids are at a ceasefire. Doesn't really affect the settlements. It's kind of weird. But anyway, this Parthian army is just moving around. Yeah, it's getting a little bit messy now. The various things that are going on. This ship is no closer to Byzantium, so we can't really take that, which that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to expand a bit more, but we seemingly can't.
Aye, my lord. Yes,
as we're here, we might as well have a look at Rhodes and Halicarnassus. Rhodes has 2 hoplites and a general, and Halicarnassus has a few units, but they look a little bit weak. It's still a decent force though. And then Sardis is absolutely packed, and Pergamum the same really. And I don't particularly want more of the Greeks at the moment, so that's fine. The ship can just head in this direction towards Byzantium. Yeah,
Aye, my lord.
But as for now, what do we do? Well,
Aye, my lord.
honestly, I think it's very likely we'll lose Hatra and Palmyra, which is terrible. It's really not good. But look at the amount of Seleucid armies. They're doing pretty well. They've got a lot of force, and we just simply haven't. And the annoying thing is, we've got 2 generals here, but they can't recruit because they're inside the city, so you can't increase the mercenaries. As for this diplomat, could you at least talk to the guy in Palmyra, try and bribe him? I don't think it's going to work. We tried last time, but oh no, I don't. They're not going to be bribed anymore. We've done enough bribing, I think. It's pretty much it. So yeah, we're at the point with the Seleucids where we can't bribe them anymore. It kind of does get to that point. In which case, there's not a lot we can do. It's almost inevitable that Hatra and Palmyra are gone. They're not, there's no mercenaries in the mercenary pool. You can head over because we need more generals in this area because there's not enough recruitment going on. There's no mercenaries available whatsoever. So Heraben is just going to have to move around until he finds some. Very, very frustrating though. As for Mazakar, please be some mercenaries. There aren't any mercenaries available. Once again, extremely frustrating. What we could do, I want this general to come over to Nicomedia because he could open up the city. I don't know. Yeah, that's where the Pontic force is. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. So there's no mercenaries available in Mazkar, but I honestly think we need to just form an offensive over here and take the Pontic capital. We can't wait around any longer. That's not going to help the situation. So what kind of army can we muster up? We can have 3 generals, which won't be a lot of use. Then you can come along. That guy's going to be useless. 1 set of mercenaries. This is really terrible. Like a really scrappy army. Scythians will be okay, but they're not that great in the cities. They're better on the open field. We can merge 2 units of Libyans together
My liege.
to form one stronger unit.
Sire.
Okay, so we've got you. Ah, right, I need to do some merging. I've just realised that. So, Bedouins, you, the Scythians,
Orders.
1 set of Libyans, and that's pretty much it. The rest are scraps.
Sire.
Random scraps of units that aren't going to be useful to us at all. They'd be more of a liability. That is the force we've got. It's not a lot at all. We will lower the tax rate in Mazakar because they're not happy, and we'll give them some sewers because why not? That probably won't be strong enough to take on the Pontic force. We want to take them out in the open field because this army is a skirmishing army really. Apart from these 2 units, they're all skirmishers. There's no force you could probably come up and help, but there's no point at this stage. You can go up and reinforce Mazakar though. There's nobody that really can contribute other than these guys, and Syra has nothing. So Kia is just going to have to head up north and pray that
Mighty general.
that his force is good enough to take on
Forward.
the Pontic force. There's nothing we can do. We need to make some progress, and we need to be a bit bolder. Yep, so that's the situation there. We just need to be bold. Palmyra and Hatra, honestly, lost causes, and there's no way we can recruit, as I already said. There's nothing we can do there, really. And I don't particularly want to be spending a lot of money. Jerusalem's really unhappy, like, next level unhappy. We should have recruited some peasants. I'm not sure why we didn't do that, to be honest. Is there any way we can just make them a little bit happy by saying you can have some peasants? Yes, okay. That will keep them happy for the moment, which is good. So they won't revolt completely, which is a nice thing indeed. Now, Salamis is slightly unhappy now. What army's in Salamis? Just 1 unit of peasants. Well, no wonder they're a little bit unhappy, and they've got a high tax rate as well. But you can upgrade. We need to start upgrading some of these cities, really. Because we're not going to progress otherwise. Sidon can't have an upgrade. Damascus can't. Antioch can't, I believe. No. That's fair enough. Well, we need to focus over here now, particularly. Thebes is unhappy. So, is there anything that can quickly give them a happiness bonus? It doesn't really seem so. Bazaar doesn't do that, does it? No. Practice range stables, barracks, wooden palisade. Okay, you just have to have some councillors' chambers, and then recruit some peasants until you're happy. So that will stop them from rebelling. As for Memphis, large stone walls not really necessary at this stage. Not quite this stage. Probably need some public baths. But I don't want to spend much money at the moment. As for Alexandria, they can have a wooden wall, that's basic, and some paved roads. That's some basic stuff as well. And then, yeah, we've got this boat over here, which is just ready to take up people when required to. The general over here, there still is no mercenaries available. Fascinating. Oh, there's some over here. Okay, good. 1 unit of Numidians. It all helps. I know he's going in and out of a plagued city, but there's nothing I can do at this stage. He's got the plague. We just going to have to deal with that. Petra can have a tax raise because they're not too unhappy. No, they can't. Okay, that's a shame. Honestly, again, not a lot more we can do. But as usual, we'll check if Gudonia has any more mercenaries, and they do this time, which is good. They have 1 unit of mercenary hoplites. They're some of the best mercenaries you can get. Thing is, though, I don't want to go to war against the Greeks. I'd rather take on Halicarnassus, which has a decent force, but not amazing. But we don't have a good force either. What I want to start doing is recruiting some peasants here, though, because when we start moving these guys out, we're going to need some garrison replacement. Other than that, not a lot more we can do. This ship is going to be moving up there. Yep, so I will end the turn, and more of the same, really, I suppose. Okay, let's see what happens. The Seleucids are moving around, and they finally attacked. Now, they have attacked and they have more men, but it reckons we have the advantage, which I'm slightly sceptical about, to be honest. But let's actually see his army. He has lots of militia hoplites, which aren't amazing. He has peltas, which aren't amazing, and peasants, which aren't amazing. 4 rams and 1 general. It's not the most amazing army, but we haven't got the most amazing army either. And I think there are proper wooden walls, but there isn't anything really that can hold the walls. I mean, we'll probably put the peasants up on the walls. We'll probably put the Eastern mercenaries up on the walls. But a lot of it's cavalry. The best units are cavalry, and there's not a lot we can do. But I will give it a go and see if we can defend Hatra from the relatively large Seleucid force that has attacked it. Okay, so when I talked about holding the walls, that was pretty irrelevant because it is only a palisade. Which, okay, fair enough. We couldn't build a wall in time, it seems. So, what is our strategy? Well, flipping hell, I mean, this is... I'll be back in 2 minutes while I actually work out what I want to do. Alright, so I finally worked it out, and it is an absolute mess. I have no idea how this is going to work. But we basically have... I won't go through it all with you. We have various cavalry, and then the peasants are spread out. It's an absolute mess. I'm going to have none of them on skirmish mode. That I can just quickly turn them off. But they can be at fire at will, that's fine. Other than that, everyone needs to guard, well, particularly these guys need to guard their position. They just need to hold their ground. It's not going to be easy for them. We'll start the battle and see what happens. This is... I honestly don't see how the computer can give us the advantage. It reckons we do have the advantage. I doubt that, but we'll see. We'll see. We're going to have to put all the indirect fire on them loads before they can get in. I'll speed it forward a little bit because not a lot seems to be happening. Okay, that's destroyed the frame rate. We won't do that. So they're advancing at the gates. I might just speed up a little bit. Can it cope with that? Yeah, it can cope up with a little bit of speed. So, yeah, they're just advancing. A few of them look like they've been taken down, possibly 5%, but not enough. In all honesty, there's nowhere near enough at the moment. So this is a breach number 1. It's going to go here, and we're going to try and sandwich these guys with all this cavalry. I don't know how that's going to work. Breach number 2 is the most dangerous breach, in the sense that it's got the most units. So we'll have these generals firing, we'll have these peasants probably move over here. I'm thinking, wait, pause for a second, because some people are being fired upon. Maybe some of this cavalry should move in the opposite direction. We have 2 units of cavalry here for just that. It seems like a little bit... I don't know. I'm going to move this cavalry slightly over in this direction. Yep, some people being fired upon, but there's not a lot I can do. These guys being fired upon. And these guys can't fire back on them. They can't fire back on the peltas, which isn't good. The general can fire on them, so you've got to do that. But yeah, the situation's not going great so far. Saying that, we've killed a lot more of them, but then they haven't breached the walls yet. As soon as they do breach the walls, or the palisade, or whatever you want to call it, then it might be game over for us. It's hard to tell. It all sort of depends on how well these spearmen hold up, and how well the charges go. The first breach has happened. The other ones will happen very, very soon as well. Which isn't ideal, but there we go. We haven't managed to prevent any breaches. The peasants being torn down by the arrows or the spears of the peltasts of the Seleucids. Various walls going down. We can see a lot of cutscenes of walls going down, and they are through. So we'll wait for them to charge in, and then we'll just have to charge in on them. There's not a lot we can do. These Bedouins aren't going to last. Like the Bedouin archers, it's not going to happen. Okay, these guys have come in, and we'll pause for a second. Okay, I reckon we could deal with this easily. Peasants on them, you on them. You don't worry about that as much. You get over here. That breach, I think, is pretty much ours. This one is going to be difficult to deal with, though. That's why I want this cavalry charge over here. This one's going to be tough to deal with as well. So we need these cavalry to come and support once these guys break. And then over here, we might have the advantage. These hoplites are moving that direction. So the peltasts are coming through. We can have you on there, you on there. You can skirmish at this point, if you can skirmish. And you can skirmish around these guys as well. Let's see how that works. I have no idea how this is going to work. Oh, they've already broken. Excellent. Okay, that's gone well over here. In this direction, somebody's already broken of the Seleucids over here. These peasants have been torn apart, but they've done their job, which is nice. Okay, that's a very, very good start. It's a surprising start, but that unit's broken, which is excellent. There's a couple of units that are broken. I mean, these mercenaries aren't going to last. They really aren't going to last. But as long as they do a decent job, then I'll be fine. You know what? You pile in as well. Support them, lads. Support them. Okay. Another attack is over here. Flipping hell, a lot is going on. You Everyone quickly, no, you ignore them. You're going to charge here. But yeah, all these guys, get on them. Next up. This breach seems to be going well for the moment, but the mercenaries won't last. They're eager. Very, very impressed by those mercenaries. These guys won't last much longer either, but there's nothing we can do. Over here, the situation's going absolutely brilliantly. In which case, you guys all move over here. Basically, just move over here as quickly as you can. As for you, same thing really, move over here. Because this breach we've pretty much got sorted. Don't chase, yep, just move over here. Because these guys are going to break any second now, even if they, yeah, they're shaken. So if we can quickly get all these guys to charge in, you go on them. Okay, this has gone really, really well. Because we're basically down to 2 breaches now. The 2 outer breaches we've destroyed. It's this one and this one which is going to cause the trouble. But we now have all our whole army focused on these. So the peltas are starting to come through, so you can charge. And you can, yeah, just get as many as you can. You can skirmish if you want. You're allowed to skirmish at this point, if that's what you want to do. Peasants, you've got to help out. I know they're charging into hoplites, but there's not a lot we can do. The Bedouins, right, you Bedouins get over here. You go over here. The rest of it can charge from the flank. This is, yeah, it's gone messy, but it's not been too bad. It really hasn't. These peasants can help support. That would be nice. Okay, 2 Seleucid units are broken. Oh, flip. Okay. 2 Seleucid units are broken, but now there is some cavalry charging into some hoplites, which isn't good. So get out of there. But you did a good job. An excellent job, in fact. Now, this breach isn't looking good for these mercenaries. They've done so well. They've really, really done well. Astonishing, really, if you think about it. But if everyone charges on these hoplites... Yep, a couple of units are broken. Not enough though. Okay, at this stage, everyone needs to get on these hoplites pretty much. It's going to be absolute mad. If these hoplites get through, it's game over. Everyone needs to charge these hoplites. As for you guys, keep pressing against these hoplites. They've got their spears up. I know that it's peasants versus hoplites, I'm aware. Okay, that didn't really charge. That charge didn't really go as well as possible. It's about holding these 2 breaches now. 2 more units are broken. Hopefully we can cause a mass rout. These guys are doing exceptionally well over here as well. Maybe some of you guys can support. For example, you try and get a charge in over here. Yeah, this is... Okay, a couple more Seleucid units are broken. Excellent, this has gone... I mean, we've taken a lot of losses as well. But so have they. And 3... Yeah, they've all routed. Mass rout over here. You guys charge them down. You guys focus on these lads now. You can all focus on these hoplites. Okay, this is gone remarkably well, but there is still their general, and well, their peltas aren't doing anything. There is still the heavy general's bodyguard, but only 25 men in that unit, so it shouldn't be too bad. Everyone's got to charge these hoplites now. They've broken. Okay. Wow. Let's just pause and work it out, because there's still some units advancing. I'm not bothered about clearing them all out. Let's just form a long... Can we not form a long line? Really, lads? Okay, just... Oh, flip. Okay. 2 peasants form a line here. Just form a thing there. These hoplites have done incredibly well. You can just form a line here. Everyone else pretty much... Okay, you form a line here, and then everyone else just carry on what you were doing. I don't want to completely charge out the city though. In fact, the cavalry needs to stop charging out the city really. So the cavalry needs to be off skirmish mode now. That would be nice. Cavalry can be off skirmish mode. And general over here. Okay, you general's already here. You general here. And then other cavalry just go here and here. Okay. This is going really, really well. Absolutely mad. Hopefully the general just retreats at this stage. He's like the only unit that hasn't routed, and that's because he hasn't entered the palisade yet. But I'm sure he will back off very, very soon, in which case we can just... Honestly, their whole army's fleeing. Why don't we just take them down? I know it's exactly what I've just said not to do, but let's just take them down. In fact, let's go for the bodyguard. Everyone on the bodyguard, and hopefully you can trample a few men along the way. Let's see how that goes. We've taken a lot of losses, but that's fine. We've managed to keep Hatra, that's the important thing. And some of the units did an exceptional job. Okay, some hoplites have not ended their course yet. If you guys can just like do your thing around the hoplite, hopefully. Okay, the general is charging in. Okay, flip. Okay, why are you charging in like that? You absolute madman, we need you.
General.
Get out there.
Move.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Let's go around him. These guys are just charging some hoplites. That wasn't very clever. But all of you, come on, quickly on the bodyguard. I don't mind really if we lose people now, but we just need to get the general down. That would be really nice. We can get the Seleucid general down. And this one unit of hoplites is causing a bit of trouble as well. Looks like they're going to rout soon though. Everyone gets on this general. We can do a good job. That unit of hoplites has gone. They're all trying to funnel through the front door, which is a bit annoying. Sooner or later the general will break, hopefully. He's still eager. Looks like they're backing off slightly though. We've taken a huge amount of loss. We really have. Half our army's gone. Hopefully some of them will regenerate, or you know, they'll be recovered on the battlefield. There's still another unit of hoplites which has come back, which is not good. That's why we need the general to rout. As soon as the general routs, all the other units will rout. I can guarantee it. The general's bodyguard's going down quickly now though. Just need that general down. Come on. All of you guys should be able to take on a general. I mean, we've definitely won this. It's gone really, really well. But we just need that unit to break. A few people are firing on them, which is good. But come on, how is that general still fighting? I mean, credit to him. Can't exactly remember his name now, but he's only 9 men and he's absolutely surrounded. He refuses to give up. And finally he gives up. Okay. Flipping hell. Let's get him down, lads. Come on.
The enemy cowards run.
Surely we can get the general down the stage. There's literally like 7 of them. Speed it up. I don't think we're going to get him down, to be honest. We've got to wait. I mean, these guys just didn't run, did they? Okay, he's got away this time, but a huge amount of his army is gone, 80% of it, and 56% of ours has gone as well. But the important thing is, Hatra, this place here is still ours. We've done an incredible job. Hecamut got 840 kills. Zusich, I don't know how to say that, that's definitely wrong. Got nearly 500 kills, which is not good, but it's, you know what, he didn't get the city and we got a lot more kills than he did. I'm surprised that we managed to keep Hatra, in all honesty, but the fact that we did is excellent, really, really good. Now, okay, now Palmyra has been attacked, and that I'm not even going to bother. That I'm not even going to bother to defend, because there's no way, there's absolutely no way in hell. I mean, it's 3 to 20 ratio, and that's generous. We have 301 men, but they're absolutely terrible. I mean, nah, we just can't. I know there's only 2 rams. There's only 2 rams, but we just can't. We cannot stop all those men. There's no way. So I will give up Palmyra. We'll just have to get it back at some point. Frustrating, but at least we lost only 1 settlement rather than 2. Can see a lot of Seleucid armies coming back over though. Tarsus is now under attack by the Seleucids. They're really aggressive this campaign. A lot of people are moving around, the various diplomats. And the Pontic force has attacked us. Captain Eupator, I don't know, with his 1,100 men. Mostly Eastern infantry, which aren't great, but there are some phalanx pikemen, side chariots, hillmen aren't that great. It's not an amazing army, have attacked us. Now, it's a 5 to 7 strength ratio. So what do we do? Well, I mean, we have like well under half the men. In fact, we nearly have a third of the amount of men that they do. But the crucial thing is, a lot of them are skirmishers. Not all of them, but a lot of them are skirmishers. And they will do well against the spearmen. I don't think we'll win, but we'll be able to wear a lot of them down. So what we could do, wear a lot of them down, and then retreat, and I'll consider that a victory in my book. So I'm going to give it a go. I think that possibly we could do this. Alright, now, oddly enough, I'm finding it a little bit annoying that there are Bedouins and Eastern mercenaries, because they can't skirmish, which means that they're actually going to be more of a liability than anything, because our tactic is just to skirmish around everything. So what do we do? Well, we're downhill, which is good, particularly. What I want to do, we'll get a wide line of the chariots. Well, first of all, we'll just move all these guys back. We'll get a wide line of the chariots along here, really as wide line as possible. They'll all be on skirmish and fire at will, exactly. Next up, Scythians and the Libyans. In fact, the Scythians can go along the generals. They basically do the same thing, although they're not technically chariots. All spread out like that. Just, yeah, all skirmish, all fire at will. These guys can skirmish, they'll probably die, but it doesn't really matter. And these guys can hang right the way back. Right in the corner here. They're not useful at all. No, they're not going to be useful. Bear in mind, their army is pretty much all spearmen. The cavalry's not going to be useful, and the Eastern mercenaries aren't going to be that useful either. So when we surrender, which we probably will, these guys can head out straight away. It'll be no problem. Let's start the battle. Okay. Pontic forces here. These guys are all going to skirmish, so I pretty much don't need to do anything, really. I just need to allow them to skirmish around. We will move it forward a bit. It does destroy the frame rate, but it shouldn't cause too much of trouble. These guys should all be running, by the way. I don't know if they're set on to run or not, but they can run. They are allowed to run. Maybe we could target a few particular units. For example, the Royal Pikemen I'd like to get down. The Peltas, or the Phalanx Pikemen as well. So for example, you can get on the Phalanx Pikemen. You can get on Phalanx Pikemen. So can you. And then Scythians, well, are there Royal Pikemen somewhere around here? Or were they the... No, they're all Phalanx Pikemen. I swear there was Royal Pikemen. There's the Scythe Chariots, which are annoying, but not too bad. Peltas, I swear there's some Royal Pikemen. Okay, maybe Royal Pikemen are Phalanx Pikemen, I just don't know the difference. And then, yeah, skirmish. So just do that. But obviously, just, you know, I can't allow them to get attacked, because in a melee fight, they will just be destroyed. But I reckon we can get them with the indirect fire. They won't be able to catch us in time. So, our guys should retreat. Exactly. We'll wear them down. We'll really wear them down. The Eastern infantry are really going for it, but we're faster. We're all skirmishers. None of their units should be able to catch up, although that unit got suspiciously close. But we're doing a decent job so far. Oh, I say that, 1% of them have been killed. This could take a while. And also, I mean, what is this strategy? I mean, everyone's just spread around. It's absolute carnage. These guys are dead. Absolutely dead. They didn't skirmish in time. I mean, they're all on fire at will, so they should just... I mean, yeah, okay, those guys were never that good anyway, the Libyans. But the cavalry should do a decent job. As soon as they run out of bullets, it's time to surrender those bullets. That's a little bit historically inaccurate. Sorry, spears or arrows or whatever they have. I think it's arrows. I mean, this really is odd. I mean, none of them are stuck in a melee combat, which is good. But this could go on forever. This is, I mean, I don't like skirmishing either, but I haven't got a lot of choice. I really haven't. The Scythians are doing a good job. I do quite like Scythians. One day I'd like to do a campaign as Scythia, because I've never played as Scythia, but I'd find it quite interesting to play as the Scythians. But anyway, that's not got anything to do with this. There's some rocks that seem to be getting in the way of our general, which isn't good. They have killed 9% of ours, and we've killed 5% of them. But I think the 9% literally just was the Libyans. Now, something's happening, which is scythe chariots are charging towards these guys. Honestly, I think we can take scythe chariots on. These guys are spearmen, and Bedouins, I mean, they've got terrible, terrible defense, I think. Yeah, if the spearmen get taken down, it's not the end of the world. Let's see how they do. Oh, they get stuck in the Bedouins, which isn't ideal. But, I mean, they might just break straight away. I think they might have. The Bedouins can charge in as well. Be helped. I don't. That's not going to last very well. The side chariot's going down quickly, though. Quickly as hell. Somebody's rousing. That's the Libyans. That's fine. Okay, we've taken down their cap. I think it was a captain. It wasn't a general. Yeah, it was a captain. Well, that's good. Now, you two, I'll just pause for a second. You two, hang out back here where we can surrender quickly. So, yeah, you go down here. As for everything else, I have no idea what's going on. You're over here, skirmishing. They're nowhere near run out of arrows yet. Everyone is just wearing down their defence. I mean, I don't know, we've killed relatively even amounts of them. Bearing in mind they have a much bigger army, so 10% of their army is probably bigger than 16% of ours. In fact, it will be. So, it's going alright. It's going alright. I reckon we can kill a few more of them yet. The vulnerable units have been taken down, like the Libyans, but they're doing a right job. But why aren't they firing? These guys are just sitting here doing nothing. Come on, get in the action, lads. It doesn't matter if you're too slow, like last time, and you get killed, because that's the punishment of being too slow in this instance. Right, what I'll do, because this is pretty much just skirmishing going on, it's interesting to look at, but also not particularly tactically sound. I'll speed it forward a little bit until something interesting happens. Like they run out of their arrows, basically. Right, something interesting does seem to be happening now. That was very, very quick. I probably didn't even cut it in the editing. But that is the hoplites seem to be moving down the hill very slowly towards these guys, which will be screwed if the hoplites touch them. I mean, they're slow as, so these guys should be able to skirmish around them, which will be nice. Yeah, okay. I've just got to keep an eye on these two units. Oh, where are they gone? These two units, just in case they get a little bit slaughtered. But, I mean, there's some hillmen over here. 78 hillmen versus those two. I think they're not going to go and engage that fight. The Scythians have nearly run out of arrows. When they do, they'll cease to become useful, and I like them. So probably at that point we might surrender. Even though it's going well. To be fair, it's going well. Or we might just put them in the corner, and as soon as they come over, surrender as well. That could be a possibility. I'm not sure. I wonder if they can still skirmish if they don't have any arrows. Like, I know they won't be firing, but they could still avoid the enemy by running away. I'm guessing they probably could. Yeah, I have to keep an eye on the Scythians. I mean, you know, we've got a couple of units to rout. It's mad, really. But I'd rather you guys focus on the phalanx pikemen, to be honest. Alright, some of the units are being fired upon, but it's only Peltas, they're not going to do a lot. The balance of force is looking relatively even now. We've done a good job, indeed. Literally just by skirmishing. I'm going to speed it forward a little bit. The frame rate's going to die. Okay, I should keep an eye on these two as well. Nothing near them at the moment, which is good, as far as I can see. But I think this fight is coming towards its end, even though it is relatively even. I'd rather just fight them on another day, because we haven't got any frontline infantry really. That is it. These guys are literally it. Yeah. Okay. Speed it up slightly again. Oh no! What are you doing? What are you guys doing? I couldn't stop them in time. They literally just charged these phalanx pikemen. Oh my goodness. Okay. Might be time to surrender now if you're going to do something stupid like that. Yeah, okay, let's just call up, wait, whoa, stop. We're going to withdraw. Everyone withdraw for a second, please. Because this idiot, I don't know what your name is, I've forgotten, you did something really, really stupid and charged some spearmen when you are chariots. So everyone is withdrawing, just get off the battlefield as quickly as you can. This is where we might incur a few losses. I want to see how the Scythians are doing. Everyone's just running off the battlefield, which is good. Yeah, people are routing, but you know what? That's fine. I mean, it's not gone too bad, but the end it just went a little bit dodgy. At least the general didn't die. That's a positive. But yeah, everyone's running off the battlefield, and they'll be too quick for them. We have to back off them, which isn't ideal, but we killed more of them than they killed of us, so it's not too bad. Scythians, what are you doing? Just get off the battlefield. They're literally half on and half off the battlefield. Like, just get off. What are you doing? And what are these guys doing as well? Like, are they getting off the battlefield? Yeah, they're running. They're doing their job. I don't care about the Libyans. I do care about the Scythians, though. Is it that they're trying to get over to this corner, but can't? In which case, I might... Oh, no, they are getting off the battlefield. It's fine. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's all good. Technically, it was a close defeat, but look at that, though. We have 300 men remaining. They have 800, but we did get 300 kills in. So... I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that. Okay, it ended in defeat. Okay, we're going to have to back off probably to Mazacar. But that's one of the main Pontic forces still left. There's 2 left, and we've weakened them. Something's going on over there. That's the other Pontic force, of course. Right, this is going to be nearly the end of the episode, but I'm going to have a look and see what happens. Construction, I don't even care about the plague at this point. But yeah, we have you, who's going to head towards Mazikar. Where did that army go? The army went back into Mazikar. Fair enough. Okay, we can probably scrap together another army and honestly just fight these guys. We could skirmish around them again. You know, I don't want to bring the mercenaries, but I will still merge them just so we have a couple of strong units, but we won't bring them along this time. The same goes with the Bedouins. We won't bring them along because we're planning to skirmish. We're not planning to take the city yet. Obviously, that is the long-term plan, but we're planning to get this damn army down, which we did a relatively good job last time, in all fairness. So, units that can skirmish. So, you three. Where are the Scythians? Scythians. Libyans. That is it. They are all the skirmishing units. But honestly, these guys could do a decent job against those guys. And they can attack straight away. Might do that next time. Step out the city. There's some more mercenaries available. Eastern mercenaries, not ideal. We'll put them back in the city. And then when we eventually attack the Pontic capital, we'll have more force. But you know what? I never turn down a mercenary. Particularly in this game mode. So, yeah, we will attack that Pontic force next time. As for the situation over here, large Pontic force. The ship should be coming over to Byzantium very, very soon. So, potentially next turn, we could take on the Thracians. Bear in mind, Byzantium's still in a little bit more garrison now, but we should be able to take that on. Can this guy just step out his fort for a second, just to see if there's any mercenaries available? There aren't any mercenaries available, in which case we'll go back in the fort. Oh yeah, there's a spy. The only thing is, the spy could come in. He is, I think he's died. Oh well, I was going to say the spy could go in and we could try and attack Nicomedia. And, you know, the spy could open the gates, but the spy died. And there's a 75% chance of success, I think, or something like that. So, that was pretty unlucky. That was pretty unlucky. Palmyra, obviously, I'm pretty mad about that. We need to take that back. But, we need some force. We need,
Mighty General.
You know, I don't know what we can do, really. This area probably is all within the same mercenary pool. So what we have to do is get this guy moving around until he can recruit someone, which he can't, incidentally. No, absolutely no mercenaries available. Nothing we can do then. Absolutely nothing we can do. But at least Hatra's still ours. Hatra is ours once more, which is great news. We'll merge some of these units. We'll retrain. Oh, flip. We'll retrain some of them as well if we can. Merge the peasants, for example. These guys did a really good job. And I was very pleased about the result of that battle. Although, yeah, okay, it was frustrating in the sense that we lost a lot of units. At least we kept Hatra. Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate on this and talk at the same time. So yeah, that's good. So probably next time, well, we will take on the Pontic force here and then sweep forward and take their capital. Once we've done that, it's only this big army to deal with, and then the Pontic force is gone, basically. But I'd like to quickly take a trip over to Byzantium and take that first. But basically, next time we'll take Pontic capital, Nicomedia, and Byzantium. Definitely. And before I go, I just want to check there aren't any more mercenaries available. Real lack of generals at the moment, which is slightly frustrating. Alexandria isn't particularly happy. Lower the tax rate for a second. Are there any more mercenaries? Doesn't seem so. To hop over the border. No, same mercenary pool it would seem. So you head inside Memphis and you can have tax raise because you're now happy. No, you can't. Okay. Well, in all honesty, I think that is all we can do. I don't know why Thebes hasn't got any walls, by the way. Are you getting any walls anytime soon? Right, we can get a wooden palisade pretty soon, I'd say. I am slightly concerned about the Seleucids attacking here, but it's not been too bad. Although we haven't gained any settlements this episode, we have really weakened the Pontic force over here. We've defended Hatra, and we will get Palmyra back, but it will take a while. We might even have to bribe them. In fact, no, I don't think we could. Surely we couldn't bribe the people of Palmyra straight away. No, I don't think so. Make demand of region. They won't accept this. They've only got 2 regions. Palmyra, they won't. No, I knew that was going to happen. Fair enough. So, in which case, that will be the end of this episode. But thank you very much for watching. I'll be back very, very soon with various faction guides and videos of that sort. And also this as well. Just seeing some new mercenaries. Cretans are great. I'll go on about Cretans next episode, I'm sure. But thank you very much for watching. We might take Halicarnassus soon, by the way. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Goodbye.